5 Maritime Sustainability Trends for 2021. Potential decarbonization and ETS. The Marine Environment Protection Committee, MEPC, met last week to discuss the new International Maritime Organization short-term draft amendments that would require ships to adjust their operations and equipment to reduce carbon emission intensity by 40% by 2030 compared to 2008. Because these regulations aren't strict enough for the European Union's emissions, the EU is still considering a regional emission trading system, ETS. However, the final draft adoption decision won't happen until 2021. Low sulfur fuels. Sulfur emissions lead to environmental destruction, premature deaths due to air pollution and economic damage, and a slew of other negative health consequences. IMO 2020 went into effect this year and requires that carriers use fuels with less than 0.5% sulfur oxide by mass, such as very low sulfur fuel VLSFO and marine gas oil MGO. Some ship operators are also looking to use liquefied natural gas LNG as an alternative. Scrubbers make a comeback. Vessels can continue to use 3.5% sulfur HFO and meet IMO 2020 standards if they have scrubbers installed to reduce sulfur emissions. The pandemic has narrowed the price gap between VLSFO and HFO. In response, fewer vessels are being fitted for scrubbers because the price advantage is much smaller. Though the demand for scrubber installations has decreased this year, things could change as new COVID-19 vaccines are expected to become widely available in 2021. Shore-to-ship power. Overall pollutant emissions can be reduced by up to 98% when utilizing power from the regional electricity grid, according to an EPA assessment. Depending on location, ships at berth might have the option to use their own power, resulting in emissions, or use shore power. Plugging a ship into an electricity grid on shore can reduce local and overall emissions, especially if renewable energy sources such as wind, tides, or solar are used to power the grid. Digital transformation. The pandemic is forcing supply chains to problem solve when it comes to safety and efficiency. Shipping is turning to digitalization, from custom forms to order confirmations, as new trade agreements take effect. Making documents digital saves time, decreases risk of spreading COVID-19 face-to-face, reduces reliance on paper, and saves money. According to a FreightWise story earlier this year, the new